What is up, everyone? I am Doc Jake here with Athletes Potential, and today we're going to go over something that we talk about with our patients all the time, because I think it's really important to understand how injuries occur and what truly is an injury, or what is more a pain or isn't an injury, and how they all kind of like relate with one another, because it truly is a full circle. Everything's on a spectrum. It's not this clear like black and white mark or demarcation of like, oh, now you're injured, right? And typically this is what we see. So we go off the I3 model here, and really what that means is we got three different sections of a spectrum or a timeline. So if I was going to kind of take this and kind of draw it all the way down, all of these kind of fall along this spectrum here. Okay, so on this side right here, we have incomplete mechanics. This is where we can be really preventative and reduce our likelihood of having an injury to begin with. So this is, say we have a runner who comes in and we find that they have tight hip internal rotation. Well, it's a good thing that we caught that, because that internal rotation is super important for your trailing limb. And if we don't have an adequate amount of that, that could lead to a lot of like pain in the front of the hip, which a lot of runners actually struggle with. Now, say this goes unnoticed for a long period of time, or for an undisclosed amount of time, then what can happen is that can lead to an incident. And this is where a lot of it, like if you're an athlete of any type, or if you are active for any significant amount of time, you've been on this part of the timeline before. This is where, you know, maybe your quads are a little sore, or your knees a little achy, or your elbows a little lit up. It's something that you kind of notice like throughout the day. It doesn't really bug you all that much. It's just kind of there, but you're able to train and perform and do everything that you need to do once you get a little warmed up. That's an incident. Now, if that goes unaddressed for too long, what this turns into, so this is caused by an incomplete mechanics, right? So we'll stick with the hip example. Tight hip internal rotation. All right, incomplete mechanics. Now you have a little bit of hip pain when you run. All right, now we're at an incident. Now you can't run. Now that hip pain has progressed along this spectrum or this timeline to where now it's inhibiting your running. You're either not able to run as fast as you were before, or you limp. You notice you have to take a lot of ibuprofen, or whatever the case may be. This here is where you don't want to be. But unfortunately, it takes people up to this point to be able to come in and see a provider, when if we could catch things here, you never have to stop performing or doing the things that you want to do, and we're able to prevent or at least reduce the likelihood of this turning into this. And we can dang sure be sure that we prevent it from, instead of going all the way to an injury, we're going to keep it at that incident point and bring it right back in. So as you kind of like feel like these different sensations in your body as an athlete or just an active adult, you notice like, oh, my knee hurt, my knee's kind of sore. Be aware of where you're at along that time frame, right? And if we can prevent things and reduce the likelihood by addressing things here, or just stop it when it's here, that's going to go a long way in allowing you to perform at a high level and enjoy the activities that you want to enjoy over a lifespan. So take a look at this, think about your body, think about where you're at, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to let us know. Thanks.